Yep, looking live. Hey there, this is Exile, and today we'll be playing Enter the Gungeon. It's been a while since I sat down to this title. I've beaten the final boss once, so we've changed over to a new save slot, and I'm going to try to explain a lot of what I'm doing. Enter the Gungeon is a game that is a little difficult to learn for many. Seen quite a number of online comments speaking to that. So I want to try and make this a run of the game that can kind of show others a few tips and tricks, so that if you want to try out this game, you can do so. This game was released in 2016, developed by Dodge Roll and published by Devolver Digital. It's released a number of updates since then. Back when I was playing was after the supply drop update from 2017, but I haven't played the game since the Gungeons and it was Gungeons and Dragons, if I remember correctly, update, which added a lot of items. So hopefully I'll be in for some surprises. Having not played this for at least a year, my success is far from guaranteed. So perhaps you can enjoy, watching me kind of struggle through. Anyway, let's get started. So, we've got a selection of characters. If anybody's unfamiliar with the game, we're in the roguelike genre. Very much a bullet hell roguelike, with just a ton of personality. You can look at these characters and they're kind of doofy little sprite faces. We're going to start with a very basic run, so we're going for the Marine. And, it's basic. WASD to move. Left click is to shoot. Can't shoot while I'm here in the lobby area. Right click is to dodge roll. This is useful for platforming. Gives me some invulnerability, some other stuff. There's a tutorial cave over there. We're not going to go through the tutorial cave. I'm just going to move right along. Okay, and let's make sure we're dropping a couple frames. Check to make sure that my video quality is not set too crazy high. Video capture. That is not what I need to look at for that. Okay, well, hopefully we're not going to have too many drop frames or too many delays in the stream. Let's just roll with it. So, we proceed into the Gungeon. Yeah, it's the Gungeon, of course. Most of our basic enemies are bullets. So the Marine, being very simple, starts with a basic pistol. It's got a lot of clip. Everybody's basic weapon has infinite ammo, but it does very little damage. It's going to be kind of usually hard to get by. In most rooms, we need to kill all the enemies while trying not to get killed. And trying not to take hits super early. The Marine gives us an extra benefit of a helmet, which lets us take a free hit. He's a very good, simple starting character. I wouldn't say he's the best character, he's not my favorite, but he's got simple mechanics. So we're clearing out rooms, taking a look at the map. We're going to try and be very thorough. After a room is cleared, any of the currency, which are these shell casings on the ground, kind of auto-magnet to your character, so you don't have to shuffle around and pick them up. We have here our first treasure chest. Treasure chests all have a rating. Being a brown treasure chest, this one's very basic. I'm going to open it anyway. You got a limited number of keys, so generally want to be careful about these. We acquired the Litchi trigger finger. Gives us better attack rate. It's pretty good. It's a bonus that will apply to any gun we get in the future. And picking up a blank, we have a counter of blanks up here. This counter somewhat resets per floor, and blanks are a useful defensive item that we can use to clear out stuff that's ahead of us. Here in this room we have a shrine. You may have seen shrines in other roguelike games. This one's the glass shrine. I don't remember exactly what it does. I believe it gives me some orbitals that block shots. Yes. And these are these glass Gungeon stones, as opposed to ion stones from PvP, will only function to block, I think, a single hit, or I lose them if I get hit, or I lose at least one. So let's try not to get hit. You know, just getting hit is bad. Try not to do that. So grenades on the floor. This guy is gonna, take some big old slashes at us. Oh, and I don't have a key for this. Blue chests better than brown chests. But we're just gonna, kind of suck up not having keys unless one drops soon. I can interact with things using E. Interacting with a table like this lets me kind of flip it up, and I can use that as a barricade for a while to make my life easier. Also knock a bunch of books everywhere. There's a lot of kind of environment to interact with. You can shoot all these pots. You don't get anything for shooting pots. There's never anything inside of any pots. This guy's got an exclamation mark on his face. I don't know why. He just kind of faded into the background. I think that's an enemy where killing him quickly likely provides us some kind of reward. One common kind of reward enemy we may see in a bit, you can come into a room and find kind of a walking key, and we see one of those and want to kill him pretty much straight away. Got the waves in this room here. Spellbook. I'm sure if we actually got down to it, that enemy probably has a very comical gun-related name. It's a big commonality. As I said, a name with a lot of personality. Of course, the shotgun shells wield shotguns. It's just the norm for Enter the Gungeon. A little bit of health. Another treasure chest we can't open. Yep, just showing off how impulsive and how much of a bad decision it was to use our only starting key on the first chest we ran into. Okay. Down there is the shop. This is a barricaded door. There's a pressure plate there. It's a one-way door, so there's another way into the shop that we can find and take, and we'll come out that side. We can use tab to open our map. Any of these green locations we found, we can teleport around to, so backtracking through levels is not super obnoxious, and that's nice. Now, how do we actually get into that shop? Okay, I'm going to guess, it's probably from around there. I'm going to teleport, save us all some time, hoof it on over here. Flipping up tables. As with a lot of other games in this kind of similar vein, you really just want to keep moving, don't get cornered. There are some enemies that will make us rely on dodge rolling because they have attacks that fill large amounts of space. These basic enemies don't. And in this basic area, we can get a lot of protection out of flipping up tables. And it's fairly reliable. Tables will get destroyed if they soak enough hits. Okay. We can purchase bionic legs to move faster. We're gonna buy a key. That's for certain. And then here's the pressure plate here. So, we want to open blue chests. Blue chests are pretty good. And we acquired our first non-pistol gun. The pulse cannon. I can tell that it's a shotgun. It's got shotgun shells. Not sure what it does. Time of death. There's a hint. I imagine if I fire when the blue blinks, it'll be stronger. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 3. No, I'm not getting it quite right. All right, we'll muck with this. We don't need it right now, so we're gonna put it off. We're gonna put it off to the side. I switch guns just with the scroll wheel. That's a nice, quick way of switching. I'm gonna head over here. We want to be thorough. Get as much cash as we can. Purchase more things from the shop. This room is suspicious. Wait a sec. There's something. Is there something visible going on in this room? For a moment I thought there was some kind of extra enemy or something. But no, it just takes forever for these leaves to fall to the ground. Okay, I feel there's definitely some kind of secret thing going on in here. So here's another use of blanks. Blanks can also reveal if there is a secret exit in a room. Pop a blank. Okay, no dice. That is not what this room is for. I have no idea what that room is for. We will figure out some other time. Popping around a little bit. Alright, there's another secret here that is completely reliable, that happens every time. We're not going to go for it on this run, because the secret requires a couple of keys to burn. We're going to proceed on to the boss. Our boss for this floor is... Gatling Gull. So, perhaps naturally, okay, check out his buttons. Naturally, but even more so for boss fights, our goal is going to be to not take hits. And hopefully, I will not take a hit, and then I can tell you why through a demonstration. Our glass stones here are a pretty neat help defensively, flipping up some of these tables, also giving us a couple gaps in the boss's fire. Gatling Gull has very simple patterns, so we're pretty much just going to want to ring around the rosy for a while, assuming he doesn't use one of his other big attacks. Just keep reloading as we go. And he's going to jump over here. And he's going to start throwing some stuff down on the floor. Just, you know, don't stand in red, don't stand in fire. If you've ever played World of Warcraft, you know what that's all about. Dodge there. Oop. I'm playing this very safe. Try not to get cornered. It's bad for your health. And we took him down pretty simply. So, the our goal here, in not taking damage, is this. These are referred to as master rounds. You can get one of those per boss, so long as you don't take damage, and they increase your maximum HP. Because I'm the Marine, I got my helmet back for clearing the floor. That gives us one of these little armor shells that prevents us from taking damage the next time we would take a hit. And we got the Witch Pistol. The Witch Pistol is a very powerful weapon, not because it does an explicitly good amount of damage, but because it has a chance to transform normal enemies into chickens. And chickens can't shoot you. We're going to burn another blank here. The final room in a floor, the one with the elevator, often has a secret. Not today. Alright. I'm going to take this elevator down on to the next floor. Bummer that we had to leave a chest behind. Oh, and you know what? I entirely forgot about a mechanic. We'll see if we can show that off. Okay, so we have here kind of a trap-focused room. Sometimes you'll run into these. These will become spikes. I mean, I think it's almost pretty clear. This gap, we dodge it. Dodge roll it. And we can just keep going through. Here we are. Moving on. So, of course, as you may have expected, new floors are going to give us new enemies. New layouts. The game's basically got a pool of rooms that it's pulling from. So long as we're not up against challenging enemies, we're going to keep using this basic gun. I do not want to fight this guy with a basic gun. Just really quick. Corner pop. And try to take him out. There we go. Quick 1-2. This is not what a normal ammo crate looks like. What is that? Ah, it's a partial ammo crate that applies to all guns. That's new. That's different from what I'm accustomed to. What I'm accustomed to is a green ammo crate that fully refills a single gun. Alright. We've got an Iron Maiden here in the middle of this room. It's got a somewhat challenging pattern where it fires out all these shots and then homes them in on my location wherever I may be. Try and punch this thing down. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, didn't handle that super well, but we got out okay. Dodge rolls. Okay. These cell keys are important when you're starting off the game. They unlock kind of new helper characters, and that's where the game becomes a bit of a roguelite, because you can interact with the helper characters kind of between runs to improve the cache of items that are available. We're just going to buy keys for a little bit. Keys are highly important. This here, the Prime Primer, we're going to need to buy this in a certain run. Unlocking the final boss requires that we acquire a series of secret items along the course of the game. The Prime Primer is one of those secret items. But we're not going to be concerned about that this time. For now, we just want to get in some basic runs. And if we do really well, we can beat the Dragon. Yes, it's the Dragon. Don't worry about it. Take those out. Pretty simple. So the reason we're using a shotgun, shotguns because, you know, they kind of might hit more than one thing. They have to spread the further out you shoot them. They're often a pretty good gun for just clearing out rooms. Having not mastered the unique mechanic of the pulse gun, it's a very mediocre shotgun for me. I am pretty confident that there's a unique mechanic on this gun, where if I watch for it to have that little light go, or if I time it right, I'm certain it's going to shoot a lot better. And we'll have a little bit of time to experiment with that before these shotgun-toting weirdos try to corner us. You see enemy variants, you know, enemies of different colors are stronger. That's pretty basic stuff. For anybody who's played some roguelites. What the? Oh, I stood on spikes. Way to go. Alright, that's really great. This is, thankfully, we're the Marine. The Marine has a bit of accident forgiveness. Oh, nice. That's an ammo top off. It'll help us out with the pulse cannon. While the Iron Maiden is closed, it's not going to take damage. I'm not flipping up enough tables. That's the lesson there. We've got some hearts sitting elsewhere. Okay, here we have the boss room. We're gonna keep exploring. Grab that. No reason not to. That was a very, very simple work. So it has been a while since I played, but I do have the advantage of knowing a lot of these of what these enemies are doing. Press along. Oh, we got snipers in this room. There's a moment where the sniper shot kind of glows. You can weaponize these pits. Certain guns have knockback, and knocking enemies back into pits can be a very efficient way of dealing with tough enemies. Ammo efficiency is, you know, very important. We're only going to find so many guns as we go. So this chest, the green chest, is not as good as the blue chest, better than the brown chest. The brown chest is the weakest we can get. And we've got the Mega Hand, you know, like the Mega Man Mega Hand. This is a quaint little gun. It's very efficient because you charge shots with it, but it's very slow, which means it's generally not a good choice for bosses. Pretty good choice for clearing rooms. Raw efficiency is helpful when we're just kind of going about on the floor. Keep our resources up. That looks like TNT. Okay. I don't know what the gimmick is on that enemy exactly yet. I assume that the damage source that kills it, it's gonna, you know, kind of follow along the direction of that damage source. So me killing it and lining up that shot with other enemies, probably very beneficial. And we barely dodge that attack because we're more focused on explaining what we're doing than actually doing. Okay, red chests are a really big deal. There's only one variety of chest that is better than this. What do we have here? Liquid Valkyrie, Maximum Pain. So we have no idea what this actually does. We can look at it in our kind of tab menu. You can drop items from here if you ever want to. There are very few items that are double-edged. I feel like there was also some kind of character panel that I don't remember how to get to. We can look at here we go. We can look at the Ammonomicon. This will display for us what items we've unlocked. We've apparently unlocked a couple items by accomplishing various things. There's a lot of background goals. So sometimes we can see, okay, this slows enemy projectiles. This is definitely a Max Payne reference. There's a ton of references here. Oh, the Litchi trigger finger we got earlier, it's just rate of fire up. Oh, and we have the Military Training Manual. It's a starting item for the Marine. Another one of the reasons why the Marine is a good basic class. He has a passive starting item. Some of the other characters have much more active and involved starting kits. And if you don't understand those kits, you're not going to utilize that character to their best efficiency. Military training gives us better reload speed and better weapon accuracy. The weapon accuracy is actually tightening the spread on our shotgun, which is pretty helpful. Here we have a cell, which we unlock one of these helpful characters. This here is the manager of the shop. The shop will allow us to purchase guns, and purchased guns basically just get hucked into the Gungeon so that we can find them on subsequent runs. Purchasing guns doesn't actually, put them in our inventory. That'd be silly. And through here, we have... this location is related to a secret. I know how to access that one, but we're not getting it this time through. And we're making our peace with that. That area kind of corresponds to some extra challenge zones that you can go to. The ammo belt, I'm fairly confident, just increases our ammo capacity. We'll buy a key. You never want to be without keys. Keep a key at all times. Alright, facing the boss. We're going to consider what weapon we want to use. Using the Mega Hand does give us the benefit of focusing on defense. Our best output for damage, probably either the Witch Pistol for its sheer fire rate, or possibly the Pulse Cannon. I wouldn't usually use a shotgun against a boss if I could avoid it. Their fire rate's a little low, but the Marine helps out with the damage. We're going to be up against, I believe this is the Gore Gun. Yep. Reload while she's under the water. You can't hurt her there. You can find a poison trail. I'm going to do this very daunting looking attack that is not actually very problematic. And that wave, if we do not avoid it, will turn us to stone. Here we just look for the gaps, very calmly move between the gaps in the attack, keep firing in the general direction, goes underwater, so on and so forth. This is a very limited space that we have gotten ourselves into. Got through it. Dodge that. Whew. Okay. Yeah, if the onset of that spray comes towards you, it's going to be a lot more dangerous. Okay. As long as we don't kind of dope this up the last moment. Very fine. Clean kill, another master round. Very good. We've unlocked an item called the Iron Coin. Our first run's going to be dense with these unlocks. Okay, we've got another master round. And we have... what's this? The Orange Guon Stone. Description reads Hot Rock. Checking the Ammonomicon very briefly. Yep, unlock that. Oh, it just attacks enemies. Nice. That's good. Like a little Gradius option. Come to the last room of the floor. Check for secrets. No dice. I should have known there were no secrets because I can see from the map there's probably no room for something to exit. I think an exit can spawn over here in this room. Not sure of that. Anyways, we're moving on. Not bad for a first run. Getting some health, not taking hits. Seems good. Seems Seems good. We have very little ammunition left for this weapon. We're probably going to use it to the end until it's run out, and then switch back to the Mega Hand so that we can try to maximize the benefits of future ammo drops. You gotta watch out for certain kind of attack patterns to get very noisy, so it might prevent us from seeing something we need to see. Pick up a couple tables. I think we got a second round of enemies here. Try and knock that caster in the pit. Good. Whoop, whoop. Got it. Pretty tight. Alright. We can't reload this again. Got just 5 shots. Afterwards, we're switching over to the Mega Hand. That's that. Mega Hand. We're going to try and save the Witch Pistol for the later floors. It's very powerful. Make sure to let our charge shot go before we walk into the store. Shopkeep does not like seeing guns fired in his house. Crestfaller is, kind of a typical rapid-fire gun. Not my preference. We may come back here later to buy ammunition, so long as everything's looking well, or we might just stock up our money. There are some, other uses for money that we might run into. We'd like to have some. Brief pause. Alright. Okay, continuing on here. Looks like our little Gungeon stone is automatically firing even if these barrels on the floor. We've got oil on the floor here, and water over there. Water will overwrite oil if both come up into the same spot. There's no problem with stepping in oil or water, at its most basic. But there are certain guns, things like flamethrowers, for instance, that shoot fire, or that will freeze water. Fire is put out by water, of course, and fire will ignite oil and set the ground on fire. So sometimes you can get some effective kind of contextual play based on that. Kind of try to judge where that laser guy is. I'm not judging it very well. Let's see. A couple careful jumps across here. There we go. We'll have some more enemies show up. We'll try not to put ourselves in a precarious location while we calmly dispatch these guys. The key for our trouble. We are really set on keys. This feels good. These floating laser enemies are explosive. Oh, the green stuff on the floor is poison. Don't wanna step in that. Enemies can be affected by the poison pretty handily. Looks like our little orange stone is taking care of a lot of these kind of basic slimes. They split as they go. I see no reason not to just pick that up. We'll open this. We got keys for days, and here we have the Rubidyne prototype bouncy gun, as you can see. This is a pretty fun one to use. I'm a big fan, and once again, because that covers wide spaces, we're going to try to use that as a room-clearing gun whenever possible, as opposed to like a boss-killing gun. So over here in this room, you can see it's just like strange. It's like, oh, there are no enemies here. Well, on the other side of this room, there's a dandy little secret, which can be very easily acquired if you can fly, and there's a couple other tricks and means of acquiring it. We're not getting it this run. We're not going to worry about it. It's fine. Okay. No way you're going to get every secret the first run. This is the Shrine to Peace. I believe it gives us the opportunity to give up a gun in exchange for health. Perhaps several guns. I don't clearly remember that. A lot of lasers here. Let's knock this up. Next wave. With the Mega Hand, since we have a charged shot at the ready, kill some enemies on spawn, buy ourselves a lot of breathing room. There we go. These plungers here will trigger Rockfall. It has an impressive AoE. Lets us kill enemies without using ammo. Nice. Through here we've got a Gun Muncher. These things can take 2 guns, combine them into one entirely random gun. I don't know what that is. I don't want to deal with it. There's There's more of that dynamite. Okay. No problem there. Just a couple spots left. Still looking real healthy. Very fast reload speed on the spot. Okay, our little orange buddy almost popped that in a really nasty way. Those bubbles have homing shots in them that will fire in the direction as soon as the bubbles pop. Thread between these. Not focusing too much on how we're firing the accuracy of our shots. The projectile from this thing is pretty big, so it'll largely take care of whatever comes here. I'm not going to jump that, it's too wide to jump. I think there are a couple items that increase dodge roll speed, or dodge roll distance. There are some items that grant flight. Flight, as you might have guessed, is overpowered. This fuse leading into this chest means that if you walk into this room and you don't have a key, you don't get to open that chest. It'll just explode. This item, the Ring of Ethereal Form, I believe it's an invulnerability grant, but it might also grant us flight, so let me double check on that. I think this is actually one of the ways to acquire this item. So we'll come over here, and pop this, and we're going to ghost over here. Oh yeah. Alright, here we acquire the Arcane Gunpowder. This is basically going to require us to leave the Ethereal Ring behind. It's a little bit of a bummer, but this is kind of like a questing item that we need to carry deeper into the Gungeon. And we're just going to teleport right back out of this room. Alright. I did not remember this being an item that you had to hold in your usable item slot. I think that is a change. Alright. We can cope. We can deal with that. We have that option on buying ammo. It's a little costly. And we can probably do without. Alright, with that, moving on to the boss. Okay. With our options for third floor bosses, considering the weapons we have right now... Oh, sorry. We can hold down left control to do more of a pause swap, which lets us think much more carefully about which gun we're doing. There's also a quick swap that swaps back and forth between your current gun and the last gun equipped. I cannot remember what button that is on. So, yeah. Oh, that's right. Tapping control will do that. So if I have a Mega Hand equipped, and I switch to Pulse Cannon, tapping control will take me right back, and that'll establish a quick swap. This boss, I think we're probably going to try to dispatch with the Mega Hand. And we have here the Mind Flayer. Even taking hits to armor will prevent us from gaining the Master Shell. Facing more challenging bosses now, harder to dodge. The several claymores left behind by the Mind Flayer kind of move around randomly. And I don't believe they can be removed by shooting them. Perhaps with certain guns. He's got this mix of bouncing projectiles and plentiful projectiles. And he's taken down. So we took a couple hits. Thankfully we were Marine. We went through that entire, zone without really taking damage. So we're in a pretty good spot. And here we've got rubber bullets. This is really hilarious. Especially because we've got access to a shotgun. Oh man, and we have already bouncing bullets. How much bounce can we get here? You can get some pretty hilarious combos going, as you might hope from a game that's full of a ton of crazy guns and random items. Let's take a look. Okay, it's got 4 or 5 bounces. All right. That bounces back a little bit. Yeah, this is going to cover a lot of space. Be really hilarious. We'll stick with this. We'll move back to this for a while. Coffins are just fancy. Oop. So coffins are just fancy poison tables. We have this guy over here that's outlined in green. He's casting a buff that is improving several qualities of these other creatures. This other caster was a summoner. Real nasty. Oh. I'm going to throw a blank down there. I did not have good options for dodging that. This dude over here is... this genie is like projecting himself. And this dude, the king, is also causing some shenanigans. This golden skull, when he stands back up, is pretty ferocious. We basically need to use cover to deal with this. It is possible to deal with this by dodge rolling very well, but so long as we have cover, why test ourselves? Why, open ourselves up to risk? But to kill him, you have to take him down, and then, afterwards, shoot the skull while it's just sitting on the floor. Pretty resilient enemy. Right, we have a trap room here, and we don't need to address it right now. So we're just going to walk on by for a bit. Take down that summoner as fast as we can. Not want to be close to 2 shotguns. That is not great. We're not really doing much of anything clever. Ooh, okay, that was a little clever. Way to go, rubber bullets. Cleaning house with the Mega Hand. Okay, this is another room with another secret at the far end that we can't access without flying or pulling some other shenanigans. So, you may be seeing a trend here. Open that up. We have a giant orange. The orange here... the orange is providing us a synergy buff with our floating orange stone, which is nice, but we're not really going to carry this orange along. The orange is very powerful, but we need the gunpowder to complete an objective. The orange is a very potent healing item. We're just going to use it. It also gives us an additional maximum health when used. If we were down some health, it would have fully healed us. It's very, very, very good item. But we're just going to eat it. Now, okay, we no longer have our synergy effect either. You could have seen earlier that this rotating stone had an extra orange borderline around it. I have no idea what that synergy benefit is. There was an update that was released after I had been playing the game that added a bunch of new synergy benefits. But synergy benefits, when you find them, if you're lucky enough to find them, can go as far as, this pairing makes this gun do 50% more damage. And they can make a run happen for sure. Whoop. Let's try not to get flailed. We've got some mummies down in this crypt area, and they can summon kind of those zombie bullets. That way leads to the boss, as you can see. Put on down here instead. Okay. We've got a spooky room with some guys. This gun is not good for what we're dealing with. It's something that shoots faster. You can see they inch forward ever so slowly. We have a little bit of leeway in our dodge roll. Alright. Very nice. Dealt with it. And when we made one of them into a chick. What he gets for being a zombie chick. So normally, though, that caster would have been one shot, got a buff. Health buffs are particularly nasty because, you know, they're going to release. They're going to reduce our efficiency in terms of how many bullets we're firing to kill stuff. And you know, ammo drops sometimes, especially when we're playing well. But you know, we don't get ammo for free. Ooh. Okay. That guy will, you know, he'll bump into you a little shoulder rub, and we're not down for that. Hold on. We're finding a pretty good amount of ammo. I don't know if they... I think they rebalance the drops sometime after I stop playing, which is just delightful. Because running out of ammo when you have some kind of big angry boss to kill is not super fun. There are 2 boss doors. Interesting. So I believe this means we have a sub-boss on this floor. I can't remember exactly how rewarding those are. But we're gonna take it out. We're gonna go fight. It's a roguelike. Be thorough. Get items. Oh, that little cold collider guy that we found ourselves matched. If you blow them up, they do explode. A burst of ice that will freeze other enemies, but does no harm to you. So that's nice. So through here, sub-boss room, right? I've never seen this thing before. Some kind of flaming cannon cork thing. It's like a Koopa car almost. All right, just kind of firing wildly. No visible health bar. Okay, it's got little minions. I hit the wrong button, and I fell off a ledge, so we're going to take some damage. Okay. You've got a big body, you've got minions. This shotgun should be fairly ideal. We do not have a lot of breathing room with this guy. Oh boy. Okay, so this is a thing that can happen. You can play a run very cleanly, then run into something you've never seen before, have no space to move, and get entirely wrecked. And, you know, we were never about denying that possibility. Just tighten up our movement. We have 1 blank to possibly spend. We spent out all of that. Move on to this. Okay, and we got it. Alright. Oh, okay. So we are not in good shape. Refill the pulse cannon, because we can. And we're going to have to scrounge for help. But hey, if we were going to sit around and, you know, be risk-averse, that would be very fun to watch. So let's not. Let's take him out. Summons anything crazy. Alright, and here we have a shot. Get us the alien sidearm, pulled straight from Halo. Total ripoff. Back over here we've got a gun muncher. No need to use that. We've got a heart that was left over in this room. We've got a blank that was left over in this room. No hearts at the shop. That's a bummer. That's a little disconcerting right over there. I don't think that needs to be that way. Okay, so we got a blank drop in this room that we didn't pick up. And then over this way we have no enemies. Way to go, rubber bullets. Taking care of business. Taking care of business. So got someone coming up. Moving on. This room is just going to put this Summoner King guy way back in here. Poison will not muck with you for just kind of walking straight through it. It's an amount of time type of thing. So just don't get bogged down in poison, and don't walk into it without paying attention like we almost did just now. Because yeah, I definitely was not paying attention to that poison before. Just not thinking about that at all. Could have taken damage, would have been very embarrassing. Lose my hat. Take this out as soon as you can. It's not summoning a bunch of stuff on the other side of the room. It pays to be aggressive. You can play this very defensively. I could be hiding behind a lot more walls and other stuff. But the items we're getting at the end of each room, probably part of the reason why ammo has been very generous with me, is for every room you clear, you are increasing the chance that the next room will drop you an item until you get an item. And that includes ammo drops, health, keys, blanks, armor, and sometimes and shells as well. Your room clear speed factors into whether or not you're going to get something. Alright, Proton Backpack. The Proton Backpack is a very handy boss-killing weapon. We've got very high damage over time with this gun. We're going to buy some armor and one more key to try and ensure that we don't just die. That would be a real bummer. And we're going to proceed on and try and laser this thing to death. Okay, we're up against the Killer Pillars, if I remember the name correctly. The Kill Pillars, not quite correct, but close. Pretty dang close. We're just going to start up proton packing. So as you can see, these guys have a split health bar split into 4. They have an attack. They have some attack patterns. That little jump rope pattern, you just got to know how to dodge it. All of those black shots do double damage. So getting hit by that will really ruin the day. So you can see we've been doing quite a lot of damage to these guys. You want to try and kill these guys as close to each other as possible, because your last one's going to go into this phase and be pretty obnoxious. We took a hit right at the end of that fight in that last moment. We were very, very close to a master round. Didn't get there, but we're getting HP. We're getting a reload on our Proton Backpack. So the Proton Backpack, highly effective on that boss, and we've got it back. We're going to save that for the next boss. Here we have, I can't recall, it is the Colt 1851. It's a very rapid fire, decent spread, very, kind of solid gun, more damage than your basic pistol. We're going to keep using the Mega Hand. The Mega Hand is a triumph. No secret rooms, not here. I'm going to do a couple more secret room checks. No, okay. Alright, I'm sorry, I really want to show you guys something. So hopefully we'll find that in a subsequent run. We'll be doing more of these, so that's fine, that's fine. Alright, we find ourselves in the Forge. Chamber 5. This will be our last chamber until we've unlocked the true final boss. So, let's try and get through this. Alright. This lava on the floor it's burning, so I'm gonna try not to stand in that. I don't know what this is. Don't grab me. I've been grabbed. And I'm going somewhere. I unlocked an item for being grabbed, I guess. And I'm back here. And the enemies have respawned. Super fun. Okay, so it looks like that enemy, which looks like a D20, is randomly using the attack patterns of other enemies. And that's even a boss attack, I think. I'm not sure if another basic enemy uses that attack. I don't know what this is, so I'm going to look at it. An ominous fountain filled with blood. It isn't quite full. Okay, we're not feeling super healthy, so we may, chance that a little later, seeing what other items we get on this floor. We've got very tough enemies here that make very broad attacks, so we are going to be playing a little bit more safely in this area. You can see this this fellow with the chain flail arm attacks from very far away, and that chain flail arm does a lot of stuff. You've got these enemies who are very fast moving. You've got these enemies who just kind of, dirtle around too. We're not completely serious. These braziers we can interact and knock over much like the tables, but they spill out fire, and they don't block shots. So they're very, they're just an offensive tool. Try and assess where he is based on aiming the source of the flail. I'm not hearing the hit points. I got him. Very deadly if you're near those things. These metal blocks over here, they're not killable, unlike the ice blocks in the last floor. So we're going to try and give them a super wide berth. However, they will deactivate once the room is free of enemies. So it's true that these grenades will explode themselves, so it's possible to get past them without using any ammo. But it's going to involve some tricky dodging. I'd have to kind of bait them. And we're not going to go for that. It's all about risk mitigation. Using cover, taking shots, killing enemies very quickly when they spawn. Kind of minimal, the least possible time interacting with danger. I got some kick and using too. I'm just gonna throw that out there real quick. That's right, these guys, while they're doing their little chant, will grab the bullets you fire at them. So you see he's firing that loaded bullet back at me. So you have to time the shot on them, so you either hit them before they chant, or after they're done chanting while they're shooting. We got a flail arm with very little cover, so we're gonna have to keep moving. There we go, took him out. Alright. Glad to take out that enemy. It's basically like a giant bullet bill. You may notice that I paused for a moment before opening chests. There are mimics in this game. Oh, we found a camera, and the camera has a synergy. Oh, with the mega hand. So this is also a charge-up weapon. It's extra hilarious. I'm a huge fan of the camera as a room-clearing weapon. We've got a synergy benefit with it. I'm not sure exactly what the synergy is giving me, and I don't think I can check. Okay, we unlock some stuff. Okay, we can see that the synergy benefit exists, but we don't know what it is. Not without consulting the wiki or finding some other stuff. There is, I believe there's an NPC they added to the game that explains some synergy benefits, so that you can kind of aim for them. But we haven't unlocked that character yet. So we're going to walk into rooms with a camera charge, and the camera hurts everything in the room. So we can just kind of sit back and kind of camera flash a lot of enemies to death. It's hilarious. It's not quite as quick as the Mega Hand for the purpose of dispatching individual enemies. I usually like it. Oh no, our Mega Hand is definitely the thing that's gotten upgraded. Our Mega Hand is Flashman's weapon. Now stops time. Okay, that's new. That's fun. That's fun. All right. I don't think this even uses more ammo, but I think it's also not shooting. it does need to be charged to have the time stop effect. Okay, it is doing damage and stopping time. Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay, I do need to wait for time to resume. There's a yellow flash when I have the time stop. So it's an extra level of charge. Yeah, there is no reason for me to not just time stop as often as possible. Now, I'm thinking this may not work on bosses. I've never seen what this is. And we're not going to learn today. Okay, now we have to interact with stuff again. Boo-hoo. Say cheese. Freaky spider monster. Out of my face. Yeah, little spinning for to do their thing, that's cute. Okay. We got cornered. Getting cornered's bad. Okay, so spider webs appear to catch on fire. That's noteworthy, and they slow us down from moving through. So we don't need to expressly worry. We're not going to be completely stuck in place, but that's not great. Alright, the Witch Pistol I would rate as our next best room clearer with the Mega Hand gone. So we're going to start Witch Pistoling things. This dude, standing in the center here, is the Reaper, and he is not killable. He's just going to kind of shoot stuff at us and try to make this room hell. Oh, and his little scythe attack is mildly homing. I'm going to try to stay ahead of it. And turn everything into chickens. I think I might have turned the Reaper into a chicken. That might be a little way to get around that. Oh, and we're going to just full ammo time stopper again. Okay. Okay. And our little helper can keep firing while time is stopped, so... There is some kind of rule on what stops. It's a little partial. I think maybe an animation that is in the middle of playing will complete, such as that enemy was frozen in the middle of his firing animation, and he went on to complete that. So there's a bit of a rule there. I think this is probably... I think the full charge of this is probably going through ammo at a much, much faster rate than the Mega Hand by itself. And I'm okay with that. Yep, it's eating 5 shots each time I do this. And I'm going to keep doing it. It can take ammo. It can take a while. This is incredibly safe. And when we have that option, we play to it. Yep. Nice. So, the reason why our priority is more on clearing the floor than beating the boss. I'm going to switch this weapon so I don't need to expend that charge shot worth of ammo. And we have Muscle Relaxant. Muscle Relaxant, I believe, is another accuracy improver. It's going to tighten the spread of guns even further. Best demonstration of this is probably the Colt 1851. Yeah. As you recall earlier, this had much, much more spread before. So combining the Muscle Relaxant with being the Marine means we have some near pinpoint attacks. I would even say, let's take a look at the Pulse Cannon. Yes, this is a shotgun, and out to a pretty decent range, it's firing a very, very tight cluster. Makes it a very effective damage weapon. Probably better, once again, if I knew how to use it. Okay, so this odd-looking room is the location of this gal, the blacksmith. Very long time since anyone has come down here. Come to kill your past. Yeah, by the way, that's the goal. We're here to kill the past. Welcome to Enter the Gungeon. You made it further than most. If you thought it was going to be that easy, I've got some bad news for you. The gun that kills the past needs ammunition. Otherwise, well, what stopped time here, that's old magic. If you find the gun, it may fire, but how far back will you go? You might just find yourself right back here again. You want to get out of this place and change something about your past, right? To tear a hole that far back, you'll need a special bullet. I can make it for you, but the materials might prove hard to find. To make the bullet, I'll need the Prime Primer. Yep. Some arcane gunpowder, which we've got. A shard of planar lead broken off from the great bullet when it struck, and an obsidian shell casing bored from the tooth of a great beast. Bring all of that to me over many lifetimes, and I will aid you in your quest. It is impossible to amass all of these items within a single run. So, we will pass along the arcane gunpowder. There's one step done. We will need to bring all these things along in order to access the final boss itself. While we're here, we're going to buy homing bullets, as if our accuracy was not already amazing. Here we have the hammer and the silencer are some gun options that we can no longer afford. That's fine. And we can afford one more ammo refill. We're going to refill the ammo on the time stopper. I'm not certain how effective this will be against the final boss, but we're definitely bringing this to bear. Right, not much else going on. We don't really have opportunities to restock our health. And we still have some more fighting to do. This enemy here, he is cursed. He does more damage, has more health. Thankfully, we're not actually fighting him. We're just going to kind of walk around him in circles as we stop time. And just relish how sickeningly overpowered this is. As you can see, it's going to take a very, very long time for this guy to call it quits. So long that stopping time actually doesn't seem that effective. Well, we're going to try it. Yep, turn him into chicken. Turn him into chicken. Very, very efficient. As I mentioned, chickens don't shoot guns. Yep, and that's a chicken now. Okay, and right here we have the chamber leading into the Dragon. We're going to open on this with a Proton Backpack. Dragon has a lot of attacks. He's going to do a lot of stuff. We're going to try to remember how to dodge most of what he's doing, and hopefully, we'll get through this. We'll do what we can. If we don't beat the Dragon, it's not the end of the world, it's just the end of the run, and we'll be moving right along. Yeah, he's real imposing. The Dragon is always, the High Dragon is always the boss of this particular area. He's got some pistols, they got bouncing shots, very hard to keep track of. You do not want to dodge these while sitting near the bottom of the stage. These are some ordinary fire shots, gotta avoid that. Thankfully I don't need to move my mouse right now. I just keep targeted on him and try to focus on dodging and keep failing. Those are some homing shots, we can shoot them down, which happen pretty passively because we're using the Proton Pack. You can see we've got them down to less than half health. These will keep shooting if I don't take care of them, so we're going to take care of them. Taking shots from homing bullets. Alright, we're going to stop time. Alright, and while time is stopped, take some shots at this far guy. Okay, shifting off the time stopper resumes time, now we know. Use another blank. Stop time. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go over here and dodge that stuff. And while I'm dodging stuff, Proton Pack's out of ammo. Switch to Colt. We can take 2 more hits in the course of this entire fight. I'm not confident Colt's best damage. I'm going to go for the pulse rifle. Bouncing shots, bouncing shot. Okay, we took a hit. We're almost dead. Give me the last phase. Give me the final phase. Shoot these down. He's got fire breath. Roll through. Found a good gap. Okay. Final phase. Okay. Highest damage weapon possible. I think it's probably still this. So the final phase is always this guaranteed pure skill challenge. No RNG. No bouncing. Nothing fancy. Just roll through this attack proper timing until you get the opportunity to attack the dragon's heart. We're going to have to do this several times because we've used up the proton pack in its entirety. Keep dodging capably. Alright, I'm not confident this is our highest damage gun. We're going to try the Witch Pistol. Much smaller clip, faster reload time. Start with this part. Let that go. Watch here. Watch here. And every time we do this, we're stepping back so that we can suss out the next dodge we need to make. I think we have to live through this 2 more times. And there will always be a capable path. You are never trapped by this attack. You just have to obey what it wants you to do. The switching will give us a slightly faster damage. Got it. Got it. Okay. Taking down the High Dragon. Whew. Alright. This game is just about as tricky and exciting as I remember, so glad for that. We acquired the Gun Soul and the Dragonfire as weapons that will show up in subsequent runs. The Dragonfire is, it's effectively a bolter from out of Warhammer 40k. It's incredibly powerful. I'm going to blast this Dragon Skull. Gets us the Obsidian Shell Casing, which we need to take back to this little lady right over here. Alright. And with that passed over, alright, so we want to keep in mind that we are alive by the margin of being the Marine. The forgiveness of the Marine has allowed us to survive at the baseline. There are some other characters with other advantages. Lockpick, free items from time to time that may have allowed us to endure. But we can say that this could very well have only succeeded because we were the Marine. And stepping through here, through these chambers, we enter. It looks like you can fall here, but you won't take damage. The mystical depths of the Gungeon. The goal we've come here to find. The gun that can kill the past. But lacking the bullet that can kill the past. Yes, the gun that can kill the past. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we have here the gun that can kill the past. We take aim. Bam. And we're going back, but we're not going back all the way. We don't have the bullet that can kill the past. And we're gonna simmer down for a moment. We're gonna rest. We're gonna enjoy this credits roll. Jam a little bit. We earned it. Got through. And I really can't applaud Dodge Roll enough for putting this game together. I love all the charm. I love all the puns. I love how much the game respects your skill as a player, and how much being good at the game applies to what you're able to do in half this run. The final attack from the Dragon is a purely skill-based attack to dodge. There's basically no random effect in there. there are, like, as opposed to some other roguelikes you can play where, you know, RNG can be a very meaningful factor. You play the very recent kind of card-based roguelike Slay the Spire. There's going to be a ton of RNG in that run. You're going to play to fix the seeds. But here, there's a pretty controllable realm of things. It's not entirely controlled. You have a lot of things to account for in your runs, and every run is still different. As opposed to, say, more recently, Dead Cells. In Dead Cells, at least for the most recent patch added a lot of health to the game. But previously, you would wind up having a lot of runs of Dead Cells that did not have a lot of variety. You'd be playing kind of the same builds, going the same routes, fighting a lot of the same enemies, same bosses every time. But here, you've got varied bosses, you've got varied guns, you're trying to staple things together, finding weird synergies like this time stop, Flashman, ridiculous, you know, crazy gun. Carries you through the final floor. So that maybe, okay, maybe you don't need skill all the time, but you know, it's a quaint, fun game with all this kind of crazy stuff and a ton of charm. You get to watch this little sprite tumbling back through the past because your goal is to kill the past. It's so campy and I love it. Acquired the gun's soul, Dragonfire. I don't remember what half of these things do. Yeah, alright. And just a little over an hour, which is about, you know, what you can expect for a pretty fair run. You're taking things out at a decent pace. And we'll return ourselves to the Breach. And the Breach being our little lobby space, we're going to have a quick little interlude. The next time we get on down to it, we're going to be playing as the pilot. We're going to go through each of these characters in sequence and kind of highlight their individual strengths. So the pilot is going to start play. Okay, I remembered because a tooltip came up on the right. You can just hit I to look at this. That's way, way faster. The pilot's starting pistol has a smaller clip size, does very similar damage. I think the damage is slightly higher than the Marines. It has like a slower fire speed. The damage over time, probably about the same. We start the game with the trusty lockpicks, which we can attempt to use once per lock to try and open a lock without having a key. If we fail, the like RNG chance, then the item will, the chest will be jammed shut and we won't be able to open it at all one way or another. But this means that sometimes when we come across a chest and we don't have a key to open it, we can try to open it anyway. And also, since the chests have a variable rarity across them, where we have, you know, brown chests, then green chests, then blue chests, then red chests, and ultimately what we didn't see last run, black chests, you can try using trusty lockpicks on the brown chests that you know maybe aren't as worried about, and then you know later on you've got your keys saved up, so you can guarantee that you can open the red chest when you find it. We have disarming personality, which reduces our shop prices a little bit, just a little extra nod. It's not hugely impactful. I'm not sure the actual percent. I think it's about 10%. And we have extra space, allowing us to hold an additional active item and a higher maximum ammo. So as we were running this last run, we picked up the arcane gunpowder. We never used the Marine's active item, which is a single-use supply drop that gives you an ammo crate. When you're still new to the game, you don't have the room clear speed really figured out, so you're not getting as many drops because room clear speed factors into how quickly you're getting your next item drop. So having access to a supply drop, maybe also your ammo's not quite as efficient because you're not always selecting the best gun for the job, you get one ammo drop that's going to refill your guns, refill a gun, sorry, refill one of your guns, and help you get further. I'm glad they added the ammo drop that adds a little bit of ammo to all of your guns, because previously when playing the game, you would amass this kind of set of guns as you're going through a run. You might have 5 or 6 guns, but since your ammo drops refilled a single gun every single time, you always wanted to make sure you were focusing on using just 1 or 2 guns so you could maximize the way you're getting ammo. Having 2 types of ammo drops is a very welcome change. That means maybe in the course of a run, you're more free to use a little bit of all of your guns and switch guns very actively to try and adapt. That's very interesting. So we can check that out kind of as we go. We can see here in the center that we've delivered the arcane gunpowder and the obsidian shell casing. The other 2 items remaining, the prime primer and the... I don't remember the name of the last thing, but it's like the capstone. It's lead based thing. It's the lead, the slug, and it's acquired in the 3rd area. So around here in the breach, didn't go over this at the start because it's kind of boring. Just want to get to the action. We're gonna wrap up. There's a few things around here. There's this random guy that we can kind of chat with. He gives us a little bit of background on things, that we're here to change the past, here to kill the past. This guy's kind of drunk, sitting in a corner. He's kind of a flavor guy. As you encounter bosses, go to different floors. He'll give you a little preview on that. And we can walk around here. There's some closed off rooms right now because we haven't unlocked too many features to kind of go about. But we'll take a time and look at the one feature we did unlock, which is the shopkeeper on through this door. So this currency here, displayed in green, it refers to an entity in game, the hegemony, and this is like hegemony tokens that you can use to add items to your later runs. And you can come over here and talk to the shopkeeper. Yep, you can donate that. We'll order new guns and items for the collection. Yeah. Neat. So we get this currency for killing bosses. The later in the run the boss is, the more hegemony credits we get for killing them. So a full run, compared to the items that are here in this starting pool, a full run gets us quite a lot of unlocks. So that's very nice. We've got her golem buddy, kind of like shop tender here. You can see he's kind of missing an arm. It's possible for us to find his arm in the Gungeon and try and recover that. If I recall, we have to find his gun and tie a balloon to it and kind of slowly float it up the Gungeon, because we never return once we're down in the Gungeon. We only keep going deeper and deeper. So we've got a couple options that we're going to go for. We are definitely unlocking rocket-powered bullets. Any bullet upgrades and passive upgrades that will always work with whatever guns we find are going to be highly desirable. I mean, when we were facing down the kill pillars in the last run, and we had the bouncing the gun from Ghostbusters. All right, I'm gonna be crucified if that is ever, if this is on YouTube at some point, and people are like, he doesn't remember the laser from Ghostbusters. Whatever. Bouncing that laser between those boss targets with their different health bars, hugely powerful. We melted that guy. Bouncing RPG, that's going to be ridiculous. So any of these different bullet power-ups are kind of a big priority to unlock. Some of these other things we're going to unlock because they're cheap and we can get them out of the way. The more things we purchase here, the more kind of pool we open up for more items to show up. And who doesn't want more guns in our Gungeon? So we're just going to clean this out entirely, because we can. And if we step out of the shop and step back in, they're not replaced yet. I think if I quit out of the game and reloaded, I'd have a new set of guns here. But, you know, not that big a deal. But yes, as we continue to open up and to rescue more people from down in the Gungeon, we're going to see more of these rooms open up. We're going to have more things that we can spend our hegemony credits on. Here, this gives us kind of a permanent bonus that we can take into further runs. And it's not a big permanent bonus. We're not increasing our baseline HP, but we're increasing the pool of guns that we can find, so we can have more interesting runs. And several of the guns that we'll unlock here, they're just explicitly more powerful. We'll have to open them out of rarer chests, but some of the craziest unlocks we can get are going to come out of the shop, and it's going to help us guarantee future runs. Instead of kind of beating the dragon by the skin of our teeth and getting away with, you know, a smidgen of health. So we will be getting back to this pretty shortly. You know, sitting back down to this game has definitely been a treat, and I'll be glad to you know, wander around this again, keep up the dialogue, and see what kind of crazy runs we get into. You know, explore each of these characters and try to kill their pasts, unlock some other stuff, and you know, yeah, just explore the Gungeon with you guys. Let's we'll do it. We'll do it. But for today, we're going to call this a close. And if you missed any part of the run, I'm going to make sure this is posted up on my stream, and I might put this to YouTube, because I've been feeling that I've got the audio quality to where I want it to be. I got the webcam set up, so hey, you know, we're streaming, and let's have fun with it. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good night.